another episode of my What If Civilization Started Over series. This is going to be episode 19, and in the last video we saw the further colonization of Africa, with Libya being split up, Carthage and France expanding into their designated areas, and I believe that's it, other than maybe a military alliance forming up. But other than that, I'm not really sure. So anyways, let's get straight into a scenario. What we first see happening is that India will be launching an invasion of South India. Now, I don't believe I've got major cities for these two countries, so we're just gonna have to do it like this, or even like provinces for that matter. Now, as Indian troops will move in from the border, initiating the war. But on this side, we'll see that the Indian troops will also make an advancement into this little sticking up bit here, as well as moving down the side on the coast on the Western Front line towards the capital. They will continue to thicken out this front line. Actually, I'm just going to drink water. Alright. They will continue to thicken out this front line a bit over here, causing some form of spear along the coast towards the capital. Over on the eastern front, we'll see that these guys will continue to move along the coast as well, and Indian troops will move across the entire border region, creating one continuous front line. Indian troops kind of blitz through the center of the nation, as there's not necessarily anything there, and they will, start to go do a little spearhead southwards towards Sri Lanka, also aiming to encircle the capital. You'll see that the South Indians will make a bit of a pushback over here at the spear, but the continuous flow of troops from India down and into this front line is enough to suppress any pushback that the South Indians may try forming. They'll continue to close in on the capital city, and eventually they'll reach up with the ocean and cut the capital city off. Next up, we'll see that their navy will be coming from down here, which a major city would be, but I haven't got the layer I haven't done them with major cities yet, and they'll be coming down, and the Indians will be coming down south towards Sri Lanka and making a naval landing over here in the north of the island. Over here in the capital, we'll see that they continue to close in on the city, and they'll also move southwards quite a lot. Over on Sri Lanka, the Indian military will be able to take the island with ease, and they'll create another landing over here. Now, these two forces will begin to work together to connect up, with two spears forming and splitting the nation in two. The small chunk here will fall easily, and with some more movements in. Did I accidentally? No, I didn't. Over here, we'll see that this side will also fall over, and then the capital city. In a peace treaty, it's quite obvious what the Indians are going to do here. They're just going to fully annex this nation. I'm trying to figure out which layer I want to be using it. Okay, see, I'm going to have to erase these guys as capital city here. Boohoo. Whatever, so. Yeah, so that's the first event. And anyways, so over here, in the Americas, the Galicians have three colonies, I guess. So the first one is this Pennsylvania type colony, which is very populated, very important. And the second one is this bigger central colony over here. Now the Galicians kind of find it quite hard to get over to here. No, for this one they can easily get there. Wait, hold up. Okay, those islands have been claimed. What are these islands? Well, I'm assuming they'd be Galician. It's easy to get to the African colony. But to get all the way over to there and go through hostile waters, yeah, it's kind of quite hard for the Galicians to get over here, which causes poor management of this region. Yeah. Anyways, moving over to North Africa, we'll see that the Romans will begin to move in on what they're allowed to take out of the London Treaty. Wait, hold up, is that right? Yes, it is. Okay. Well, the Romans will start claim, I guess. Well, I'm just gonna kind of put it in. Hopefully, this is the right amount of land. I could be wrong though. Meh. So the Roman Libyan colony is completed. They're the third nation to complete their colony. Wait, no, that's incorrect. The Romans actually have a claim over, what is it? Where's the layer? Right, they've got a claim over Tanzania, which they'll have to invade a bit later. But well, also this layer is incorrect. It was actually the red team who has the claim over Central Africa. I'm gonna have to fix that. I should have fixed it. I'm just too lazy to. Haha. Anyways, the Hungarians, we'll see. They'll move in on their claim. Crap. I have done this bit wrong here. Hey, well, I can just fix it. And the red team and the Greeks. Oh no, the red team doesn't have their claim over Egypt here. But how did the red team put a claim over then? I forgot to put the red team's claim in? Oh man. It's a bit stupid. Well, the red team, they're supposed to have the claim over here and a claim over here, but never mind. Because we'll be seeing that the Greeks will be finally taking their land back from the Egyptians, as we see that the Greeks making a naval landing on Crete, and with a few other landings being made and taking over the majority of the island. Eventually the whole island will fall over to them. The Greeks will then take over Rhodes and begin to send a flood of troops into Egyptian Anatolia, capturing one major city in that, and navally making a naval landing over here near Rhodes, which they'll then use to. Oh, that's a bit too big. They'll use to start to spread out and take over a lot of this coastal land and such. And they'll also capture another major city while doing that. Now, these troops over here will be making a connection up, splitting Egyptian Anatolia into two pieces. And once this is done, the Greeks will begin to move in on this land and eventually capture the entirety of here, which will eventually initiate the fall of Greek Anatolia and Greek Crete. The red team, who is supposed to have a colony over here, so I'll have to make them invade in. The red team, whose supposed to have a colony over here, they'll make a landing here in between the two major cities. Now, don't get me wrong, Catalonia still has a quite large military, because it's got some very important land still. Like, they barely lost any important land. They're still one of the strongest countries in the world. Like, look, they got a load of major cities inside of them. Yeah. Anyways, they'll continue to move in and they'll capture another major city near the border. And we'll then see that Greek troops will begin to move into Egypt from the border here. Just like so. And they'll quickly and swiftly take over all of this land. And they'll begin to make a movement across the coast, like so, and eventually taking it, and also capturing all of this coastal land here. Down south, it's quite easy for them to just like blitz across Egypt. No. Oh, bloody pixel, I swear to God. And they'll move out to Nile region, and they'll encircle this major city here, eventually capturing it, and they'll begin to, start moving around like this. Now, Greece is much stronger than Egypt. Yeah. Okay, good. Anyways, over here, the red team, we'll see them. They're using the whole military. This is a major military loss for them, but the reward to gain is better. So they'll be able to capture a lot of these major cities, suffering a lot of losses. And Greece will capture another major city, and they'll also make a landing on the Sinai Peninsula. From there, they will start to move around. They'll capture this one over here. They'll capture this one over here. Eventually, the whole of no, not that. Eventually, all of this region will fall over to the Greeks, and then the Egyptians will be surrendering over to the red team. Now, in a peace treaty, we will see. So, in a peace treaty, we will be seeing that Egypt will be annexing the rest of uncolonized Africa. I'm kidding. I missed pixels here. We'll see that Greece will be taking all of this land here, and also all of this land. Just kidding. Egypt will be forced to become this like Holy Land or something country over here. Wait, no, on the side of the one. My bad, chat. And I think that the red team's colony is a bit off, but meh. So red team will be taking all of this land here, and yeah, it's nice. Anyways, over here, wait, hold up. I've got that. Okay, thank God. Over here, there's some tensions forming between, the Russians and the Caucasians. They're not very happy with each other right now because the Caucasians didn't like how the Russians invaded the Ukraine country. Oh, this is a chunky Poland. Ooh. Yeah. Well, Asia's like barely done anything right now. It's kind of sad. Yeah. Anyways, the important thing is down here, some fisher boat people, of Indonesia, they're fishing around like Timor and stuff. One of them that gets blown off course, and they land in the northern part of Australia here. And this leads for a bunch more discoveries and explorations by the Indonesians, which will look a bit like this, discovering most of northern Australia, and the Indonesians will make themselves a colony just here. So yeah. Now talks about this new land that's been discovered. They come, people from like Indonesia, they're talking about it, and this eventually this talk gets to India. From India it gets to Persia, then from there it gets to all of Europe, and suddenly the British country, French country, the Galician country, they're all interested in this big landmass over here. But that'll have to be in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next one.